In the dusty heart of medieval India, long before the British flag rose over the subcontinent, before politics divided land and faith, there existed an empire that defined luxury, power, and obsession. The Mughal Empire. At its center ruled a man shaped by war, power, and ambition, Emperor Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, the greatest Mughal emperor. But behind the marble walls of his palace, behind jewels, dancers, and armies existed a secret that history never officially recorded. A story whispered, not written. A story that threatened an empire. A love so forbidden that the penalty for it was death. This is the story of Akbar and Anarkali, a love that never belonged to history, only to memory, rumor, and heartbreak. Opening shot narration begins. In the late 16th century, during the golden rule of the Mughal Empire, Fatehpur Sikri gleamed under the sun like a jewel carved out of red sandstone. Palace corridors stretched endlessly, filled with echoes of political negotiations, marching soldiers, and the constant sound of gangroos anklets of court dancers. Among hundreds of royal attendants, one young woman walked with grace. She wasn't born into nobility. She wasn't from the royal bloodline. Her name was Anarkali, her real name lost to time, her identity erased from history books, but her beauty unforgettable in every story ever told about her. She was said to be so beautiful that when she danced, even candle flames steadied themselves to watch. She was a court entertainer, trained to perform in front of royalty. Her job was to remain unseen beyond performance, to blend into the palace walls like a decoration. But destiny does not ask permission, and in the palace of the greatest emperor of the Mughal Empire, love walked in where it had no right to exist. The emperor, Akbar, was not a man easily distracted. He ruled an empire stretching across India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and beyond. He was called the shadow of God on earth, the world conqueror, the protector of the faith. But when Akbar saw her dance, the emperor forgot that he was an emperor. Witness accounts, though debated, claim something remarkable. Her beauty could make the moon blush. In a palace where no one dared lift their gaze toward the emperor, Anarkali did by accident or by fate. And in that moment, Akbar felt something he hadn't felt in decades, human. He watched her the way a man watches, not a king. And that was the beginning of the empire's most dangerous secret, the silent affection. This was not love at first sight. It was fascination. For the first time, Akbar asked dancers to perform again. Anarkali danced. Akbar watched. Days passed. The emperor began finding reasons to be present whenever she performed. But nobody in the court would dare question Akbar's interest, except one person, the young prince, Prince Salim, future ruler, future emperor, soon to be known as Jahangir. He was young, rebellious, emotional, everything Akbar was not. The tragedy of this story begins here. Salim also fell in love with her. 3 hearts, 1 destiny. In the Mughal court, love was not personal. It was political. Akbar built alliances through marriages. For him, emotions were weaknesses. Loyalty meant obedience. Control meant power. Salim, however, was ruled by his heart. When Salim saw Anarkali, the world stopped for him. She was not just a dancer. She was poetry in motion. He watched her with the intensity of a man who would risk everything. And Anarkali? She was caught somewhere between destiny and disaster. Neither of them realized that their love was walking toward a war. Whispers in the palace. Palace women noticed the stolen glances. Guards whispered. Eunuchs exchanged hints. Servants carried secrets like currency. In royal palaces, nothing remains hidden. Every glance becomes a rumor. Every rumor becomes evidence. And soon, Akbar discovered that the woman he admired was in love with his son. This was not just a heartbreak. This was a betrayal of power. Because in a monarchy, the heart of the king is not his own. It belongs to the empire. The forbidden love. Salim and Anarkali began meeting in hidden palace gardens, stolen corridors, behind silk curtains. Anywhere they could exist without judgment. Their love was unconditional, pure, and illegal. Because Anarkali was a court dancer, she belonged to the king. She was part of his property, his palace, his dominion. If she loved Salim, It challenged Akbar's authority. If Salim loved her, it challenged the royal bloodline. Akbar saw it as treason. The confrontation. Akbar did not shout. He did not show anger. He summoned Anarkali privately. What happened in that chamber has no written record, only whispered accounts. It is said Akbar asked her, "Do you love him?" Anarkali did not lie. She bowed her head and accepted the truth. Akbar gave her one chance to step away, one chance to save her life. But love doesn't negotiate. Her refusal was a silent declaration of war. Akbar vs. Salim, the father who ruled an empire, and the son who desired love, stood against each other. Akbar believed an empire is held by iron, not emotion. Salim believed if love requires a war, he would fight it. The tension grew. The palace became a battlefield of silent glances and unspoken threats. The emperor ordered Anarkali to be confined away from Salim. But lovers find ways to meet, even through walls. Salim attempted to elope with her. Guards caught them. It was treason punishable by death. The punishment. Salim was arrested. Akbar's command was absolute. Anarkali was brought in chains. The accusation was read. Anarkali has violated the sanctity of the royal household by engaging in an unlawful relationship with the crown prince. The punishment? Death. But Akbar, even in rage, still felt love for her. He could not kill her before his eyes. So he offered her a choice. If she publicly declares she never loved Salim, she would live. Anarkali refused. Her last request was that Salim should never know what price she paid for him. Akbar agreed. The Tomb of Silence. Witnesses describe a chilling scene. A chamber, a wall under construction, brick by brick. Anarkali was led inside. She did not scream. She did not beg. She placed her hand on her heart, as if holding onto her last memory of love. The workers sealed the wall. Her anklets were the last sound heard. And when silence filled the chamber, the story ended. But the pain lived on. Salim never saw her again. He was told she escaped. He searched across India, sending messengers, promising rewards. He never found her tomb. Akbar continued ruling the empire. He won battles, conquered lands. But in moments of quiet, when no one watched, he stood near a certain wall motionless, because love had been buried there. Not only Anarkali, Akbar's humanity too. History did not record Anarkali. Official Mughal archives are silent about her. But silence speaks loudly. The legends persisted. Locals whispered. Poets turned her into tragedy. Artists turned her into immortality. Cinema turned her into an icon. Because people forget politics, but never forget love. That is why today, centuries later, we still ask, was Anarkali real, or just a metaphor for the price of forbidden love? Maybe she existed, maybe she didn't, but the heartache was real. Every brick in Fatehpur Sikri still carries the echo of that silence. The silence of a woman whose only crime was loving a prince.